All right. Champions. Crypto Warriors. It's good to be back.
Indeed, he's
Happy
out.
Monday, y'all. Waiting for y'all to get in the room. All right.
Let's go. Let's
We
go.
are live.
Mm, 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 mm.
All right.
Bitcoin
Champions.
Shango in the his house.
Yeah. We got Bitcoin Shango in the his house. Happy Monday to you. What's up, Pips? 64 ECG. Man, that looks almost like ESG, man. I like that. 64 ECG. All
Is that
right,
like a classic
champions.
code or something? Incredible.
Yup. Yup.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Let's get started, man. Let's get started. Yeah, bro. Long time no see, gents. Great to see you.
Yes,
Yes, it's
sir.
great to have you back, man. It's great to have you back. As you can see, Brazen is all the way over there across the country, enjoying the beautiful weather of the beautiful state of Texas.
Dude, it's really beautiful weather over here, man. It's just sunrise. I don't know how you guys feel on the East Coast, man, but this is
As
where
you can see,
I
I'm
was born to
shivering.
be, man. In the warm, beautiful weather of Texas. Love it.
All right. Yes, sir. We got Simply Here. Oh, Simply Here. Do you say Here products? That's pretty cool. Greetings, Warriors. Yeah, champion. Thank you for checking in with us today. All right, people, let's rock this. So today, in the spirit of Valentine, it's down the street, so we're trying to get ahead of the Valentine Day situation. So today's topic is with love from China. Seems like our policymakers these days are slowly, even though they're saying they do not like China, they're slowly starting to implement policies kind of similar to what's going on with China, especially with the old CBDC approach. So we got a video for you guys all the way from the BIS, Bank of International Settlements. And we've been
Hmm.
talking about this on the show several times about the change in the definitions and changing mindset. And we talk about how they cook you up slowly until you're fully cooked and you don't even see it happening. So what we see here are the crumbs, they educate you, they change your mindset the way they want you to think. So this is what they're pushing out right now, and we just wanted to share this with you guys so that you guys can see. All right. Hit it.
Yeah, definitely go for it. It's a
All
very
right.
interesting one. We'll check it out and we'll come back. And then I'll
Yes,
share my
sir.
thoughts on that one because it's a very interesting situation to say the least. That's for sure. Mm. Let's check if everyone can hear the
Back
audio,
real
by the
quick.
way.
Yeah, I
One,
think I
two,
think something's wrong with my internet. Can you hear me?
everyone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can totally hear you. Yeah, just check
Okay.
if the audio is working. You probably have to do B1 again.
Okay. Okay. Man, I had to pull a quick pause on that before they continue with their smooshing.
Propaganda.
Project Turbulent. I like the name. Why is it called Turbulent?
Here, another video.
Oh, they say they hear us
Yeah.
but no video. Okay, well,
Yes.
we have to do this again, guys.
You might have to do that B1. It probably just means I'm gonna hear myself back, but that should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna do this all over again. As you can see, man, Prison is the engineer behind the show. It's always me that always screw this thing over. Let's do it again.
It's all good. It's all good.
Project Turbulent coming to you from BIS.
Cash for everyday transactions. However, digital payments are changing the landscape, with over 1 trillion cashless payments globally in 2021 alone. Digital payments are faster and more convenient than ever, but it comes at a price of giving away personal data that can reveal a great deal about your whereabouts, associations, and lifestyle. As our lives become more digital, can we still preserve privacy in our payments? Project Tourbillon from the BIS Innovation Hub Swiss Centre explores how a retail central bank digital currency, or CBDC, can provide cash-like anonymity. Privacy is the right to keep personal information secret or known only to a trusted group of people. Privacy.
All right, guys. We can't play it all at once because we have to talk. Because I see something. I'm not sure if you guys see what I see. Do you see what I see? Prison, what do you think so far?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a super short video. Short video. Um, it's I think that this is one of the areas where we all understand. No matter how much people like to. We've all heard this phrase where people say, if you have nothing to hide, right? Then you shouldn't be worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the
The
reality is,
reality is,
I
I
think
think
by
by
nature,
nature,
everyone
everyone
cares
cares
about
about
their
their
privacy,
privacy,
right?
right?
And at the same
And at
time,
the same time,
this is why we
this is why we
see
see
these people
these people
using
using
trying to
essentially
essentially target
a
privacy
privacy
situations.
situation. That's one of the things
We're
we're
talking
talking
about
about
there,
there,
right?
right? Mm-hmm.
Cash-like
Cash-like
privacy,
privacy,
they say.
they say.
Um,
Um,
I mean,
I
but
mean,
at the same
but at the
time,
same
if
time,
you look at
if
it,
you look at it,
anyone
anyone
that's not been
that's
living
not been
under a
living
rock
under
will
a rock will
understand that.
understand that.
I mean, what
I
these
mean,
people
what
are
these
saying
people are
here is
saying here
just
is just straight up
inaccurate.
inaccurate.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Um,
Um,
when I saw
when
this
I
the
saw this
first
the
time, I
first
asked
time, I
myself,
asked myself, why would these people
go through
go
the
through the
effort,
effort,
right?
right? After
Decades and
decades and
decades of
decades
trying
of
to
trying
pry
to
into
pry into
people's
people's
lives,
lives,
trying to find
trying
out
to find out
information about
information
people
about
that does
people
not
that
really
does not really
concern them,
concern them,
so they can
so
use
they
it
can use
against
it
them.
against them.
All of a
All of a
sudden, you're
sudden,
not
you're
working
not
on a
working on a
privacy coin.
privacy coin.
It's just
It's just
insane. It's
insane. It's
comical to me at
comical
this
to me at
point,
this point,
you know,
you know,
and it's
and
just
it's
more of
just
that,
more of that,
what do you say,
how do you say,
social
social
engineering
engineering
and
and
manipulation.
manipulation.
That's
Boom.
what it
That's what it
continues with.
continues with.
So,
I think that is the word here, social
yeah.
engineering. Because when I was looking at that first part of it, I was like, wait a second, they are taking the attributes of Bitcoin and reverse engineering it and now making it sound as if a centralized digital bank will solve the people's problem. Knowing that, yes, Bitcoin blockchains are faster, transactions, check, is private, check, decentralized, check, right? But what they're not saying right there at the beginning is that it will be based on central bank policies. And from what we know, from what the central banks have been doing with our money, it's still the same money that we create that they control. So the issue here is not faster. The issue here is not privacy. The issue here is the policies. The issue here is
Yeah.
how are you able to easily print money out of thin air and now tell us that, oh, don't worry about it. It's much secure and it's much faster. Am I making
Yeah.
sense? But people are not thinking about that. People never think about why is inflation kicking our butt? Why is it that what I bought last year is a lot more expensive this year? But no, focus on the fast parts. It's gonna be faster. Before we go
Absolutely.
back to the video, let's quickly look at some comments. All right. Yes, we did have some technical difficulties earlier. Not up, Inc. Marv. We are good now. Some network issues today. So for all right.
Sergeant Crypto
Let's
says
see. Sorry,
smash the
that's a
like.
huge
Sergeant
delay.
Crypto says smash the like button and stop
Smash.
lurking.
Yes, sir. Smash that like button. You can meet us over there on YouTube at Stackfin on Twitter, and Stack on what am I on Upspot, whatever that's called, Spotify. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said Upspot. I said Upspot. Spotify. They're all spotting something.
Oh, snap. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
let's get back to the video, y'all.
Privacy is important for people making payments, but it is the most complex issue to solve. There is full anonymity. However, cash can't be used online. When you use a credit or debit card, other companies have access to all the data, but you trust them to maintain confidentiality. And cryptocurrencies offer some anonymity, but all transactions are public. Project Tourbillon explores a new privacy paradigm, payer anonymity. Here, consumers have cash-like anonymity. This means that no one can link a consumer's identity to their transaction. However, the merchant's identity is linked to the transaction. So this means that a sale at a merchant is recorded, but only by the merchant's commercial bank. The central bank never sees the identities of consumers or merchants.
Privacy is key when people pay, but also payments should not support illicit activity. It's important to find a balance. Security should support privacy without sacrificing user experience. In Tourbillon, we explore how to achieve privacy, security, and scalability in a retail CBDC. We look to payer anonymity to provide the balance. We implement post-quantum cryptography for security, both today and tomorrow, and we test scalability using retail payments.
Project Tourbillon has uncovered 3 key findings. First, that it's feasible to build a prototype that guarantees payer anonymity, security, and scalability. Second, it's possible to process thousands of transactions per second and adapt to additional demand. And third, quantum-safe cryptography can be implemented for future security. Privacy is a foundational feature for retail CBDCs, and Project Tourbillon demonstrates a way forward.
Ooh, you gotta love that. Project Tourbillon. I think it's French.
Absolutely.
I
You
think
could
it's
probably
French.
turn off V1 by the way now, so I can
Right,
let
right,
out negative
right,
feedback.
right. Oh no, I still got more videos coming in, but let me turn it on temporarily. Go ahead though, hit us up.
Yeah. So looking at this video, it's very interesting. One thing that they said there was, having this ability to make payments anonymously. Right? You're making payments anonymously. Your merchant will not know your your personal information. The
Mm-hmm.
central banks will not know your personal information,
Mm-hmm.
but the central bank can see the merchant's info.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interacting with a merchant and the merchant has to, say, for example, mail things to you, it will seem that that merchant is going to need your name and address.
Mm-hmm.
And if the merchant can see your name and address, and the central bank can see the information from the merchant side and not from your side.
Ah, jeez.
You guys, I hope you guys see the stupidity that is following here. You know, it's just, I think for me at this point in time, it just feels disrespectful even watching some of these videos, even talking about it, because we're looking at a bunch of people that have decided that they're going to continuously insult the intelligence of society. It's just disappointing at this point in time because you don't know why we're taking these people seriously, right? There is this thing they say, um, if you look at scammers, a lot of times they use a lot of complex words and a ton of words in a sentence for no
Mhm.
reason to confuse people. That is exactly what we just watched there, right?
Like your taxes.
Here's the final thing that I would say here with this one is this is not the echo is good. Yeah, because Shangri was the we have the audio from the PC and the stream audio on the same channel. So I gotta work on a way to split those. That way we can play videos and also have a guest on, and there's not gonna be feedback. But going back to my point here, I'll say, hey, listen, it's a beautiful thing that they have built, right? It's incredible. I'm sure that is something that is spectacular and will totally change the face of the wall. Um, but yeah, just go ahead and put the code out there so that the rest of the world can audit it. Just like the Bitcoin code is out there and anybody can go look at it. If they say that they have found a way um, to engage in transactions and for the central bank to not see your info and the merchant to not see your info, and they can see just the merchant's info without seeing your info. I think that that is something that is absolutely groundbreaking. Drop the code out there, let's all audit it. You know, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
Man, I'll come from the angle of being in Nigeria and seeing the Naira, the Nigerian CBDC. There's no way you can onboard the CBDC without a digital ID. That's just
yeah.
it. You can't have a CBDC without a digital ID because what they keep saying about crypto is that it's being used for illicit activities. And the reasons why they put in CBDCs is to prevent capital flight and prevent money being used for scam and for terrorism. So for them to be able to do that, they have to get your digital ID. Stop lying to us. People are not dumb. But I guess there's a lot of dumb people that want to be convenient, that want to focus on speed and focus on security that we know they've
Mm.
never been able to provide. Talk about it. Your social security number it's been hacked by China already. Like literally, all our social security numbers are out there because the social security agency and the agency responsible for doing your background check got hacked. So what are they trying to tell us here? That they can create a central bank digital currency that will be faster. Who cares about fast? What we're trying to say is that
Yeah.
we want to be able to have our store of value, preserve it, and have it be there when we retire. Not that I want my money to move fast. The money moves fast to then disappear and be worthless. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Like, yeah, fast. No. Go to XRP, we can get fast. Go to Tron, we can get fast. But this whole idea of,
Well,
oh, you can go ahead.
one interesting thing is I don't know who has been complaining about money is not fast enough. Yeah, I don't know who's been complaining about money is not fast enough. I mean, you know, there is so many things out there that are fast, like you were saying, XRP. And so I don't know why these people are, solving a problem that does not exist. Right. I think the only thing that we recognized is the fact that they want total control of everyone at all times.
Mm, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that is exactly what we as a people are trying to fight against.
You know, I find it quite interesting that they said quantum safe. Is that going to be the new Bitcoin dip when they say, oh, quantum technology is here and then Bitcoin is not quantum safe? Because that was the last bullet.
Well, listen, man, have they faced some threats from quantum computers if right now with the systems that they have? You know what I mean? Again, it's solving problems that we do not have. Um, why is it that we're talking about this privacy and protecting from quantum hacks and all of these things, but no one is discussing the simple fact that you can print more money? The mathematics of the money has to be right first. If the
Yeah.
math is not there, then all of this stuff is just noise.
Yup. 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 And before I go to the next video, I also find it quite interesting that the entire time they're not talking about the ability to store your value. They're not talking about the ability to move your money wherever you want to move your money to, because they did not talk about their control of, oh, you cannot send your money to maybe you're traveling to the Middle East, and they put
Yeah.
that $10,000 limitation or $5,000 limitation. It's still gonna be there. They never mentioned that. They're not talking about the controls they're gonna put in place. They're just talking about fast, quantum safe, privacy. Like, come on, talk about the real issues. So I think I found that quite interesting. That said, let's quickly look
Absolutely.
at the comments real quick. Um, Bitcoin Shango said the central banks don't see identities until they want to. Tell them if they control the ledger, they control the ledger. Simple as that. Facts. And then that was funny. I try not to tell
Yeah.
people, I'm not trying not to call people dumb.
And I fully admit they're irrational as heck.
Honestly, though, sure, I was called dumb a lot when I was a kid, so I
Yeah.
don't find it difficult to call other people dumb. But it's the truth, though.
Listen,
What do
man,
you
I
call
don't call
somebody
people
that is
dumb, but
not
I
getting it?
definitely call them stupid. Uh,
You call them lazy, though.
I mean, I think, listen, man, laziness is just natural. Everybody is lazy. It's just a natural. It just seems like human beings to me, in general, are just naturally lazy, and then you have to put in the effort to grow.
Yeah, true that, true that, true that.
Because everybody, listen, from the moment you're born, okay, you could just sit there, and life will go by. You don't need to put in any effort for that. But to grow yourself, to make a difference in your own life and the people around you, right? You cannot be lazy. You have to get up and get after it. It's just what it is.
Yep.
So that part about it, when I say people are lazy, I'm not even meaning it as an insult. I'm just referring to it as the state that most
Mm,
people are in.
yep.
And then from there, but when I say stupid, that one I mean I definitely mean you're stupid, right? But let's carry on. I see there's definitely some interesting comments here.
Comment. Yeah. Jake
With
Fever.
Bitcoin Shango says, well, go ahead.
Jake Fever said, with AI machines, we need to pay machines to speed. So speed will never matter, but it doesn't matter to use peer to peer. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
what they don't
speed.
want. They don't want you to use peer to peer. Yes, that was another topic they didn't cover.
No, but I think he's saying like speed does not matter for us. It does not
Yeah,
matter for us if we're doing peer-to-peer transactions,
yep,
like
yep,
so
yep.
like with the Bitcoin transactions, which totally, I get it. But I think if you look at the other comment there from Bitcoin Shango just above it, about the quantum, which is going to be the next boogeyman, I find that a bit interesting, and maybe I'll pose a question back to Bitcoin Shango there because the whole quantum thing is something that I still have to look a lot into. All right, so quantum is going to be the next boogeyman. Got to prep the field at least 2 to 5 years out. Got to plant the seed in people's minds and water it. Yes,
Yep.
it is
That's
like
those are the crumbs.
it's like the World Economic Forum, right? They prep your mind. They keep saying this cyber attack is coming.
Hmm.
If you know a cyber attack is coming, you should be prepping to stop it. You should not be advertising that the cyber attack is coming and not doing anything about it. But if this quantum here, you're referring to quantum computing, I've also kind of asked myself, well, if these people are expecting to use quantum computing power to attack Bitcoin, would it not follow then that maybe by the time we get there, Bitcoin will also be able to be mined, or maybe not even mined, but you could also have quantum nodes running the Bitcoin network to match that power?
The technical difficulties of resolving
Yeah.
will be
Yeah.
extremely difficult. It just gets more expensive to even burn energy to create bitcoins, because that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's a very
Yeah,
interesting one. So I like your take on that, Bitcoin Shango. Will
yeah.
will Bitcoin not also be secured by quantum power, as the future threat might be quantum power as well, or quantum computing?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's quantum computing versus quantum power. Either way, you're still gonna require more energy now to create more Bitcoin. It's gonna match
Yeah.
up. You think the miners are just gonna sit down and not implement quantum mines?
Well, BlackRock owns the miners now, so
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
who knows what is gonna happen there? But that'll be an interesting situation for sure. It'll be interesting to
Yep.
see how that unfolds at that point.
All right. And Jake Pepper said, "What's up? The best solutions are usually the most simple ones." You're right. You're right.
Facts.
You're right.
Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, is what I say.
Yes, sir. All right.
Podcast
I got
says
one more video.
buzzwords equals bullshit. I think that's true.
I got one more
Hey,
video that
scammers.
kind of follows up perfectly with this.
Okay, don't forget the V1.
All right.
Is
Welcome to
making its
China.
boldest play yet to try and stop a stock market meltdown. It's a high stakes move aimed at stabilizing markets after 3 years of losses for Chinese and Hong Kong shares. Authorities are mulling a plan to pull 2 trillion yuan into a so called stabilization fund that would get state linked institutions to buy shares. The big picture is Beijing wants to manage the fallout of painful crackdowns on the property and tech sectors and slower economic growth. It's not just professional investors who are feeling the pain. Thousands of mum and pop retail investors that have flocked to Chinese stock markets are also dealing with losses. And on social media, some are connecting that directly to poor policymaking. And with property prices still falling, the country's middle classes have fewer options to invest their cash. That means rescuing the equity market isn't just a case of stabilizing the financial system. It's also about addressing risks of social unrest in an economy where reasons to be optimistic about your own financial prospects may appear scarce.
Brazen.
Yeah, I think that's just like you're saying, its ability to print money, which is
Mm-hmm.
exactly what we're trying to get away from, right? What we're trying to solve. When the markets, all right, free markets at least, are not supposed to have any sort of intervention from you know central powers, because now does it make sense for anyone to really invest in the Chinese markets when you know that at this point in time the whole thing is just garbage and is really just being controlled by you know Xi Jinping, because ultimately it's whatever he says that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be invested in that market and maybe you might make some gains, but I think ultimately you will see that what is happening there is that you're not getting this gains, or the price action in that market is not from natural um, free market causes, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
supply
Mm-hmm.
and demand, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
just the basic level of this situation, man. The markets should be driven by supply and demand. It's just that simple. But we are so far away from that with this stuff right now, right? When you have people printing money to prop up a market so that other people don't lose money, but some people need to be able to lose money. This is how these things work, right? If you went to a soccer game, both teams cannot win the game. Okay, there's been horrible decisions made, right? Like horrible policies, as was mentioned in the video there, that have put these governing powers in a losing position. You put them against Bitcoin, and you know they can prop these things up for as long as they want. It's hot potato, man. One day it's going to drop, and
Yep.
you know there's going to be a lot of pain. It's just what
Yep.
it is. I just think that it's best for everyone to just educate themselves as much as possible and choose to opt out of the system, right? Because this is a non-violent revolution. That's what is crazy about it to me. We have a system right now that will allow us to really take back the control of our value and remove all of these crazy uh, policies that these people have put in place. It's not going to be smooth by no means, but man, I just keep wondering to myself, how long can we go on like this? You know,
Yeah.
because
And
one day it's going to come crashing. Go for it.
hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying the CBDC does not stop that from happening. They've made so many bad policies that now they have to now print so much money again, thereby devaluing everybody's store of value. CBDC just allows them to print the money easily and push a reset button. So what's happening in China would eventually happen to America once they implement a CBDC. Simple as that. So if you're saying you're
Yeah.
buying real estate, you're buying stocks in the tech field, and then they keep printing the way they're printing, this is just America 5 years, 10 years from now. If it's not even happening already.
Yeah, absolutely. I think America is pretty much about there, man. That's for sure.
And that's what people need to pay attention to, because that earlier CBDC video talked nothing about government policies and how leaving it to the central banks to just print money devalues your store of value, just devalues your money, you devalues your investments, devalues everything that you've worked for. You know,
Exactly.
let's quickly look at some comments here. Um, Bitcoin Shango
Yeah,
says,
this
as
thing.
always, there are many opinions. I hope mine is wrong on much that I see happening. But after 30 years in government, military employee, I feel that nothing these folks say can be taken at face value. Amen.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. That is coming from a government and military person, that have
Yeah.
sacrificed their time for the country. It's crazy.
Yeah.
A true
A
glorious
true
revolution.
glorious revolution. Love that.
Yep. If we take back our value, our time, our energy, yep, that will be marvelous. And that is what Bitcoin is yet to do. CBDCs will never give you that. It just basically gives them more control of you. They can literally shut you down because they know that it's you that's making the transaction. You can't get on the
Hmm.
system without their approval. It's not inclusive. Bitcoin Shango also said, "Can you imagine passing down your hard work to help out your great grandchildren realize their goals rather than they have to work 90 hours a week for 4 jobs just to buy lunch?" Yeah,
Just to buy
literally,
lunch. Yeah.
you can't transfer your energy from 30 years ago to the current generation because the value of your work from 30 years ago has gone down. But if you see the history of Bitcoin, the value has constantly gone up. So you can store that value and transfer it to future generations. And that's what Bitcoin is here to do.
Absolutely.
That's the way it should be, really, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's a very important one, especially with considering you don't have to ever sell your Bitcoin to be able to gain from it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jake Fever
I don't
said,
know if I
I
told
say,
you. I don't,
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
Jake Fever
I
said,
was
don't
just going
invest
to
in
ask you
anything
this.
but Bitcoin unless you have at least one Bitcoin. Hey, that's an advice.
Hey, I mean, listen, begin to buy the Bitcoin. It's very important. That's for sure. What I
Yeah.
was going to say earlier is I don't know if I told you about the IUL situation where I showed.
Yeah, IUL. Yeah.
Yeah, I showed the gentleman. He was like, "Well, you cannot do these things. You cannot pass on your Bitcoin wealth." And I showed it to him right in his face, and I took him to. I'm not going to call the company's name because they're not paying us, but there's this website where you can have like a multi-sig wallet, and if you say something happens to you or you pass away, then you can you know essentially whether it's a will or whatever the case
I
might be or a
trust.
smart
Yeah.
contract, however you want to configure it, those bitcoins will now be passed on to the beneficiaries, right? And his response was, well, I can see how that will work in the future. It is not now. I'm like, what do you mean? You're looking at it
Just
right before your face right now. You're literally looking at it right now. What do you mean it's in the future? But it's interesting. It just seems and it's not, again, these people are not, a lot of these people they're not stupid. They're not um, uninformed. They know the fiat system and they operate within it, and they're going around selling all these products to people. But it just seems that for some reason they get right there. Bitcoin is right there, and they get just right there, and then there's like a mind block, and
run
their
for
mind can just
safety.
like hop over it. It's incredible. It's incredible to me. Oh, there's a comment down there from Outcast. I think that's very interesting. Um, it's just
Outcasts.
speaking of quantum there,
Yeah.
right? And that's actually something that I've forgotten about, and it would be cool for us to engage in conversation about this. whether another time or now. I know we're running out of time. It says, speaking of quantum, even if an organization was able to create more Bitcoin at a certain block height, I'm guessing maybe this is like 51% attack sort of thing. No, it will not be 51% attack. So if they created more Bitcoin at a certain block height, that chain would immediately fork and nobody would use the hacked version. This is something that is true and we've seen in the past. I think this is where you get things like Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, and Bitcoin Gold, and all the other Bitcoins, where you try to hack the system and it just splits, right? So a fork is going to be the situation where the blockchain sort of
You reject
splits
it.
and it creates the version of what you are
Trying to do.
hacking for.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it verifies the longest chain of blocks that are in agreement, and then that's the original Bitcoin, and it keeps going. And whatever you are hacking for now splits off as its own thing. I just wonder how that would look like in the quantum situation. That was something that would be interesting to dig further into. Incredible.
Yep, a couple of months
Thanks for that
ago,
comment, Alex.
I think BlackRock and is it Marathon? They had that issue where they were trying to mine Bitcoin much faster, and and it got fucked. That happened, I think,
Yeah, they said they
October or
were just
something
doing
last
some
year.
testing. Yeah,
And say,
they said they were
hey,
just doing
it
some
was an
testing.
error. Yep.
That's
Well,
really
we are over time today. I hope you guys are gonna be enjoying your Valentine's Day. If you have not liked and subscribed, please go ahead and do that now. Let's see, how do I do this, guys? I'm trying to get this all together. Yeah, if you
there
have
we
not
go.
liked and subscribed now, please go ahead and do that. We are Stack on YouTube, Stack Fiend on X, and Stack on Spotify. I hope you guys had a wonderful time joining us today. We look forward to having you back next Monday. We release our videos every day. We have some wonderful shots, funny stuff,
Incredible.
trying to make learning Bitcoin easy and fun to understand. And of course, we release at least 3 or 4 videos every week around 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Check them out. That's what we're here for, y'all. Thank you again. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful week. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace out. Bro, I'm over here trying to figure out what my exit button is. I'm horrible with this.
You just have to end the stream. Is what you have to do.
Oh,
In this case,
man.
you have
All
to
right, y'all.
click end stream. Yeah.
All right. Peace out. Peace.